The UFC is back at the Apex, and I know what you're thinking. The UFC Apex. You're already cringing at the fact that the UFC is back at the Apex, but I'm telling you right now, they are back with some heat. Okay, this is a fire card for UFC Apex standards. It actually, quite literally, is going to blow the roof off the place for Apex standards. Tatsuro Taira is taking on Hyun Park, and shout out to Hyun Park for saving this card last minute. Not last minute, but you know what I mean. Yesterday, we were without a main event for quite literally half a day. They could not get anything figured out. There was a few, well, does Talos and Teixeira want to fight, and we could match him up with Waldo, and I heard rumors on rumors, and no one was accepting anything. Shout out to Hyun Park for stepping in on short notice and saving this card and allowing Tatsuro Taira to put on a performance of a lifetime. As you can see on the screen there, those are all the matchups listed out. All of the fighters that I have highlighted in red are going to be the fighters that I do believe are winning their fights, okay? If you just so happen to be colorblind, those are going to be the fighters to the right side of the screen. And as you can see at the very bottom there, there is a favorite pick section. Those are 3 fights that I'm going to be picking each week that I do believe are going into their fight with some sort of advantage. The striking, the grappling, they have significantly better cardio. The odds are just not in their favor, and they should be. Something is swaying me to pick those specific fighters with more confidence than I would typically pick them with. And this week, Tatsuro Taira, Kevin Vallejos, and Austin Bashi all make the list. Let's get right into breaking down the card. Hyun Park, although I respect and admire and give him props and absolutely adore him for stepping in on short notice and glaze this man because he deserves all the glaze in the world, I cannot glaze him against my boy Tatsuro Taira. Hyun Park is going to be live for maybe the first 2-3 minutes, maybe the first round, depending on how much grappling Taira gets off in that first round. But do not get it twisted. As soon as that second, that third, that fourth round rolls around, Taira is going to put on a pressure in the grappling that is going to absolutely exhaust Hyun Park. That body triangle is going to seep just about all of the oxygen out of his tank. And if that doesn't do enough, all of the defense from those rear naked chokes, those arm bars, those triangles. Taira is crafty. He's nifty. And when it comes to gaps, you know, you could sit here and you could say, well, there's a gap in the striking, man. Hyun Park is a little bit better of a striker. He's got a little bit more power. You know, there's a gap in the striking. There is not a gap in the grappling. There is quite literally an entire nation between these two guys when it comes to the grappling. It is not even close. Taira is going to show not only levels in the grappling, because he's significantly better in the grappling department. He is not only going to show levels there, but he is going to show why there is a top 15, a top 10, and then a top 5 with the champions up there at the top 5. There's just levels to this game, and Taira is going to show that on Saturday. I'm taking Tatsuro Taira to win this fight via submission, either in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round. It's going to be a little bit later. I'm leaning toward late in that 3rd round, potentially 4th, 5th round submission. But do not be surprised if Tatsuro Taira gets the prize and finishes with his eyes on the back of Park's head with the rear naked choke. I don't know where I was going with that. I was trying to rhyme into rear naked choke, but I couldn't. Chris Duncan and Mateusz Rębecki, another fight that I'm absolutely ecstatic to watch, and this has fight of the night written all over it. This has fight of the night potential written all over it. I'm taking Mateusz Rębecki to win this fight. I understand that Chris Duncan has a grappling advantage, but I don't think Mateusz Rębecki is going to be a fish out of water if it gets there. And I don't think he's going to allow it to get there. I think Mateusz Rębecki, for as long as he can, is going to keep this fight on the feet. And as long as it stays there, I favor Mateusz Rębecki. And I am not even in the slightest concerned if Chris Duncan starts trying to outdog him, because Mateusz Rębecki is a dog, man. Chris Duncan's a dog, but Mateusz Rębecki is a dog, bro. I'm taking Mateusz Rębecki to put the pressure on Chris Duncan, avoid the grappling, and ultimately find a TKO in that 3rd round. maybe if he doesn't find the TKO, because I can see Chris Duncan being very gritty and tough in that last round, it might be a decision, but I'm kind of leaning like 60% late TKO, 40% decision. So regardless, Mateusz Rębecki is winning this fight. Elves, Brener, and Esteban Ribovics, another fight that has fight of the night potential written all over it. I wanted to pick Elves Brener so bad. Elves Brener is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. I love the shoot box fighters, but Elves Brener has been a guy that ever since he came in, I've been rooting for him. And he's had a few rough run-ins the past 2 fights. And I really thought I could try and get a bounce-back fight out of him, but I don't think it's going to happen. Unfortunately, Elves Brener is going to be going 0-3 in his last 3 fights because Esteban Ribovics, just like Mateusz Rębecki, is a dog. He's got cardio for days, and as long as this fight stays standing, I favor him. And Elves Brener is not the kind of guy. Chris Duncan, I could see trying to push the grappling. Elves Brener is not. Unless he gets troubled, unless he gets dropped, unless there is a situation where he absolutely has to try and use his jiu-jitsu, he's not going to. And this guy has world-class jiu-jitsu. He has world-class jiu-jitsu, and he's not going to use it. And I know a lot of people are going to sit here and say, well, dude, did you watch Daniel Zellhuber's last fight? And Esteban Ribovics, I mean, that win isn't really going to age well and this and that. Man, Esteban Ribovics was fighting a completely different Daniel Zellhuber that night. I'm not sure what Daniel Zellhuber was doing against Michael Johnson. You could have even argued that he threw that fight. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't throw the fight, but he had an off night. And against Esteban Ribovics, he didn't. I'm taking Esteban to comfortably win this fight. I do believe that Elves Brener is going to be a dog, and he's not going to get knocked out. So give me Esteban Ribovics by decision. Nora, Cornolle, and Karol, Rosa. I'm not breaking this fight down. You see my pick there. It's Rosa by decision. Neil Magny and Ezekiel Zaleski. Ezekiel. I just called him Ezekiel. Ezekiel Zaleski. Dos Santos is going to win this fight. I have not seen anything promising out of Neil Magny in multiple fights, okay? Aside from like his comeback against Mike Malott, I've literally not seen anything out of Neil Magny. I can't believe that people are trying to sit here, break this fight down and say, man, do you know the clinch work that Neil Magny could put on this guy, man? Neil Magny is 6'3". Do you know the clinch work? He could literally hug him and win rounds. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. My boy Ezekiel is going to knock him out. Okay? My boy Ezekiel is going to knock him out. Shout out to Dos Santos. I'm sorry for calling you Ezekiel, my guy. But he's going to win this fight. I'm taking it by decision. Neil Magny, this isn't like Carlos Prates, who has that fight-ending power. I know Dos Santos has fight-ending power, but I don't think he's at that point in his career where he's going to be displaying it. So give me Dos Santos to win this fight by decision. Danny Silva and Kevin Vallejos, another fight I am so happy about. I'm so hyped about. Kevin Vallejos, I'm so high on this kid, man. I'm so high on this guy. I don't know why I called him a kid, because when I first watched one of his fights, I think he was like 21 or something. He was super young, man. He's like 24 now, so he's no longer a kid. But man, am I hyped up. He's got the crispiest boxing that I have quite literally ever seen. And the only one that has portrayed a little bit crispier of boxing against him is Jean Silva. Everyone who's tried has failed except for Jean Silva. And he even took off a round against my guy, Jean Silva, man. Jean Silva, the future UFC featherweight champion of the world. As soon as he beats Diego Lopes, he's going after Volkanovski. And Volk might want to call it quits, man. Whoever he ends up challenging, hopefully it's Mavzar next. Volk beats Mavzar, and then he can just retire. Volk can just retire. That way he doesn't get chinned by Jean Silva, because Jean Silva is inhuman, dude. He's not normal. This guy is crazy. I mean, if you're sitting there before your fight screaming and already using like 40% of your energy Before the fight even starts, you're crazy. You're an animal. You're a lunatic. You're a Tony Prime Ferguson. The guy we're going to be talking about and making YouTube videos about all the way down, decades later. The guy that you're going to be telling your grandkids about. Yeah, man, dude, no one could come close, dude. He was about to fight Volkanovski, you know, and chin him. But Volkanovski had to retire, bro, because Jean Silva was about to give it to him. Jean Silva is different, but Kevin Vallejos is also going to be a killer in this division. Is he on the level Jean Silva is at the moment? Maybe not. If he was, he probably would have beat Jean Silva. But is he darn close? Has he shown that he has potential to run up into the rankings at the featherweight division? Absolutely. I'm taking Kevin Vallejos to beat Danny Silva, and I like Danny Silva a lot, but Kevin Vallejos is just too good. Nick Klein and Andrey Pulyaev. I have seen everyone all over Andrey Pulyaev, and I'm not taking him. I'm taking Nick Klein. I'm taking my boy Nick Klein to win this fight. He's going to be the better grappler, and whether you want to admit it or not, he's taking this fight to the ground. I don't care if he has mediocre wrestling. I don't care if he has this and that, and there's no opportunity for him to really take this fight to the ground. We're talking about the guy that took a round off Mansour Abdul Malik. The only guy to make Mansour Abdul Malik look human. That's my boy Nick Klein. Nick Klein is going to go in here, take this fight to the ground. I could see him potentially getting a submission, but I think he's going to be winning a gritty decision over Pulyaev. Give me Nick Klein to win this fight. Nathan Fletcher and Rinya Nakamura. Rinya Nakamura shit the bed. I think in his last fight or maybe the previous fight, I can't remember. He absolutely shit the bed. And I wanted to pick Nathan Fletcher so bad, but I think Rinya Nakamura shitting the bed is actually going to be beneficial for him. I think it's going to teach him a lot. I think this guy is going to come out better than he has ever been before. And I think Rinya Nakamura is going to go in with the game plan of taking this fight to the ground, keeping his control, not doing stupid stuff like trying to fight on the feet when you are a way better grappler, way better wrestler. And I think as long as he incorporates that game plan, which he should, he will win this fight. Tresean Gore and Rodolfo Vieira. This is my lowest confidence pick. This and Rafael Esteban. Solely, I'll tell you why. Tresean Gore is going to be live with the power. This guy has power, and he has some decent anti-wrestling, okay? He is decent at keeping fights on the feet. And Rodolfo Vieira, unless this fight gets to the ground, is not going to have a fun day at the office. Tresean Gore has potential to knock him out, but something is just telling me that Vieira is going to be able to get in close, grab a body lock, and just trip Gore up. Something is telling me that he's going to be able to trip Gore up or pull out one of those legs up against the cage, take him down, and once this fight hits the ground, it's over. It's over. Vieira is going to submit Gore very, very easily. Felipe Bunez and Rafael Esteban. This fight is a little bit different. Flyweights going at it. Rafael Esteban is going to be significantly better in the grappling. He's going to be the better fighter on the feet too. But his cardio is so lackluster, especially in that third round, that he has potential to literally get finished by just about anyone. He has won all of his fights. He is still a dog. He's coming out and he's pulling through and he's not getting finished. But there is going to come a time where that is going to catch up to him. I don't think it's going to be in this fight, but don't be surprised. Just don't be surprised if for some reason Rafael Esteban gasses and then just gives up a silly just back take or something in a rear naked choke, bro. Felipe Bunez is more than capable of pulling off a gnarly submission or jumping your back or snagging something really quick, but Esteban, I think, is going to be more than safe in the grappling, and I do believe that his gas tank is going to be a little bit better this fight. I think he's going to be working on it, and hopefully, Hopefully he just submits him in the first round, but if that doesn't happen, hopefully he doesn't gas in that third round. Give me Rafael Esteban by decision. I don't think he's going to pull off the submission, but it'd be cool if he does. Ketlin Sosa and Piera Rodriguez, I'm not breaking this fight down either. Piera Rodriguez is the pick. I think she's going to win this fight via decision. And then John Yanis and Austin Bashi. Austin Bashi is going to win this fight. I know I said I go into my favorite picks a little bit more into detail, but all you need to know is two things. One, Austin Bashi is the significantly better grappler in this fight. Way better grappler. He will show it, and he will take this fight to the ground, and he will be taking John Yanis's back, and he will have multiple opportunities to finish this fight. Two, John is taking this fight on short notice. And against a pressure-heavy grappler like Austin Bashi, who is constantly going to be trying to take you down, constantly trying to be taking your back, constantly trying to threaten submissions, it's not going to favor anyone stepping in on short notice. And that's nothing against John, you know, but when you're stepping in on short notice against a pressure grappler guy, it just doesn't work in your favor. We saw it against Asu Almabayev and Jose Ochoa last week. Jose tried his hardest, but Asu made that fight look easy. Why? Because he was the way better grappler, because he was a pressure grappler, and because Jose had taken that fight on short notice, didn't prepare to be consistently taken down left and right, and he ultimately ended up losing the fight. Austin Bashi is a very confident pick. Like I said, Tatsuro Taira is winning his fight. He's going to be the significantly better grappler in that fight, and I do see him winning by submission. Kevin Vallejos, he's going to show that there are levels in the striking against Danny Silva, and Danny Silva is going to be taking this fight to the ground. As long as Danny Silva doesn't pull out a black belt-esque Habib-level grappling game next week or this week against, you know, Kevin Vallejos is winning this fight, and he's more than likely going to knock Danny Silva out. He's got very, very good hands and a lot of power in those hands. And Austin Bashi, he's going in not only with a huge grappling advantage as a pressure grappler, but he's going into this fight with his opponent taking it on short notice. Austin Bashi is going to win this fight. Guys, thank you so much for watching the entire breakdown and prediction video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, drop down into the comments, and let me know which fights you disagree with, man. Sway me in the right direction. Let me know before the fights happen. That way I'm not taking any L's. And guys, while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I will talk to you guys on the flip side. Deuces.